All right, we are up and running again and back in the good graces of YouTube. That's always it's always a plus. Thanks for hanging out. This is In Other News. I'm your host Mike Russell, and just if you're thinking like I am, what a wild 24 hours. Holy mackerel! I'm just trying to catch my breath, trying to kind of stay afloat here. It's just everything's been happening so fast, so furious. And I'm not talking about those terrible movies, Fast and the Furious, which all 9 of them left so many unanswered questions. You just need to make another one. Yeah. Okay. So let's roll into the first order of business is Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, not Senator Marco Rubio. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. He is Trump's first cabinet member to be voted on and appointed. Y'all, I'm not okay with this. And I have nothing wrong with Marco Rubio. I think the dude's pretty stand up. His biggest political gaffe was reaching for a drink of water and be all shaky when he was doing the Republican rebuttal to the State of the Union address, to one of Barack Obama's State of the Union addresses. That was basically his biggest political blunder. And then trying to call Donald Trump a name. And then he was labeled Little Marco after that. Something about his hands or something. Do you remember this? So Marco Rubio has been confirmed by the Senate 99-0. 99-0. When Republicans and Democrats are united on one vote, 99-0, I don't trust it. I like Marco Rubio. I think he seems like a pretty upstanding guy. Seems like a pretty down-to-earth conservative. Why did all of the Democrats vote for him? I do not like that. Something's just off here. This isn't a commentary on deep state, but when Republicans and Democrats agree on everything, I think 26 or more Democrats voted against the Lake and Riley Act. I'm like, what? You voted against criminals, illegal immigrants that have committed sex crimes to be deported. You voted against that. Holy cow. But you voted for Marco Rubio? A little bit weird. It just anything 99-0 because he had to abstain. It would have been probably 100-0. But he abstained and it was 99-0. I don't get, and it was quick. There was nothing there. He had one little hearing in committee, and then it was just skids greased straight to a vote, and then boom. I don't feel comfortable with that. Again, I'm happy that he's our Secretary of State, but now I'm questioning. If it were a 49-10 vote or something, I mean, so 49-40 vote, maybe. But I do not like this 99-0 vote. I don't like it. I did the math there wrong, I know. But I don't. I just think that it's not okay when all the Democrats are for one of Trump's nominees. I get a little weary about that. But he has made good friends in the Senate. He's had a good run in the Senate. So by all rights, he's not ruffled any feathers, which again makes me question. Should he be Secretary of State? I want somebody who can ruffle some feathers. I want somebody going in there and just dropping the hammer on both our allies and adversaries, period. Represent us. Be the Secretary of State. I don't know if you remember, but the first meeting that Antony Blinken had with China at the very beginning of the administration, he was told immediately that the United States does not come to this table from a position of power. Immediately. And he just cowered. He tucked his tail and just accepted that. Marco Rubio, come on, big guy. I need something. I need something from you. Okay? But congratulations. Our new Secretary of State is Marco Rubio. Congratulations to him, his staff, his family, and the administration for getting that through. The only question mark I have now, and I didn't have a question mark until then, is 99-0. You can't get Democrats and Republicans to agree that the sky is blue or the sun will rise tomorrow. You cannot get them to agree on that. And all of a sudden, here we go. The derangement syndrome is a mile long here. It's so much fun to watch. I have spent the last 24 hours watching this. Well, I slept, but for the majority of the last 24 hours, watching the fallout. And not even so much the fallout. I mean, you turn on Fox News and it was embarrassing. I mean, they're no better than MSNBC at this point. They're no better than MSNBC. Their snark, giddy, just giggly excitement through the whole thing instead of professionalism was absurd. It just was. It's no different than MSNBC right now. And MSNBC is going apoplectic over all of these executive orders. So we'll talk about those here shortly. But we begin with a post that was made by Sandy Cortez, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of New York fame. And I want to break down what she said the night before the inauguration. Check it out.
Well, we are on the eve of an authoritarian administration.
Of course.
This is what 21st century fascism is starting to look like. Republicans really model themselves after Orban's Hungary. And so you can look to...
Where was that in the RNC literature? Where was that we were all going to walk lockstep to Orban? What are we... Was that somewhere that we missed? Is that a public record? I hope that's a public record. If the entire party, half of the nation, is walking in lockstep with that. Okay.
See how Viktor Orban runs Hungary to get a taste of how they will try to govern and control media and companies in the United States.
And the fun part about this, and I've always said this, that Democrats have a odd look at the Constitution. They see the Constitution as a roadblock. They see the United States Constitution as something that gets in the way of their agenda. And this is a perfect example of that, because she's forgetting that nation does not have a United States Constitution. We do. That protects all we the people, not just Republicans and Democrats, all we the people, from things like that. But this snark former bartender really wants to let us know the future. She's got that crystal ball. Let's see let's break this down. Keep going.
And this is kind of an entree to that. As far as what we do, this is a time of experimentation. A lot of people.
We're going back to the 60s. I mean, I'm down. Time of experimentation. I mean, what are we experimenting with? This is not a time of, Sandy. This is not. It is a time of. It is a 230 plus year experiment in democracy, which is a representative republic. I understand, but that's the phrase that is used. This is all an experiment. This is all a time of experimentation. And we're learning, and I think this is more of a time of awakening than anything else, because we were learning that those experiments were going kind of the way of NIH. Those experiments were like they were being run by the now pardoned Dr. Fauci. Yeah, remember, if you've done nothing wrong, you don't need a pardon, said Dr. Fauci, until he got a pardon.
Will still use platforms, can still use platforms.
This is all coming down to social media is what it's all coming down to. It's all coming down to X being owned by Elon Musk.
But I also look towards places where you have more ownership as well, and develop your audiences there. Like Blue Sky, you own your audiences at Protocol.
Have you all seen Blue Sky yet? This was the Democrats after the election. This popped up. This is their version of Twitter.
Decentralized Protocol, newsletters, email.
Newsletters and emails. Go to newsletters and email. So basically stay in your bubble. Stay in the bubble that we've created for you with Blue Sky. Stay in that bubble. And then we will be able to control you, because if you go out where there's actual free speech, Meta's coming online, X is already in there. We'll see what YouTube does, and that we're going to allow that type of free speech and expression. That can't be for the Democrats. They will not have that. That's Orbanian, not even Orwellian. It's Orbanian, because they want to go back to Orwellian. Forget about Orbanian. They want Orwellian. They want complete control. They want the big brother. They want Blue Sky. Blue Sky is for them. That is a Democrat only. We're going to sit in the echo chamber. Harry Sisson, is that how to pronounce his name? Harry, the kid with the blush? Or is that rude? What is that? Someone help me. ladies or dudes with daughters, help me out with what's the stuff that makes your cheeks all rosy? Yeah, the stuff he uses. He's already taken to X to laugh at everybody, X and TikTok to laugh at everybody that the prices have not gone down yet. He deleted it. He's deleted this, but he's already screaming, the prices haven't gone down yet. Gas isn't cheaper yet. Ay, ay, ay. Blush. Thank you. Appreciate it. Blush. Brandon, whiskey? Yeah. That's what makes your nose a little rosy there, buddy. Yeah. But yeah, so they've already taken, and Blue Sky is that. It's a bunch of Harry Sisson minions. Or if you follow Charlie Kirk online, it's everyone who has stepped up to a microphone to step toe-to-toe with him. They're Blue Sky. That's what Blue Sky is. Unbelievable. Let's get to it here. A couple things we didn't talk about the inauguration. The inaugural ceremony had Barack Obama, W, and Clinton, surviving former presidents. And a lot is being made of their their disgust or their disdain, or Bill Clinton checking out Carrie Underwood. I don't know if you saw that. And and the second gentleman. Yes, Doug was giving one of those. A lot was being made of their facial expressions and their disdain for the man that was taking the oath of office. And if you Hillary included in there, the disdain for this man is huge. But I am going to kind of say something no one else is really talking about. This is their fault. 100% their fault. Obama, W, Clinton, and Biden gave us Donald Trump twice. You can see the Biden administration as a really bad halftime between two Trump halves. I think that's a great way to put it. But if they had such great presidencies and done such great things for the United States of America and for mankind, we would be celebrating their successors. We would be celebrating their appointed and anointed successors. Hillary would have already been president. And Kamala Harris would be being sworn in right now. If they had done such a fantastic job, those people in the back that are rolling their eyes, those presidents that are scoffing at this, except for Bill Clinton. He's having a hell of a time being there. I think he's just enjoying life. Bill's living his best life at this point. So it was their fault. He's here. It was they literally handed him. There's no way that we could have been, man, the economy's kicking butt. Everything's going well. I have a lot of money in the bank. I have job security. I have everything that I need in life right now, and life is great for me. You know what we should do? We should elect a billionaire game show host. That's what we should do. We should get that Trump guy in here. That'd be fun. No, we would want to stay the course. Because when you go to the ballot box, you're making a decision. You're fork in the road. Do I like where it's going and I want it to keep going in that direction, or do I need it to go in a different direction? Everyone picked need it to go in a different direction because of the former presidents which were rolling their eyes and fuming behind Donald Trump. That's the reason we chose that direction in the road, is because their direction sucked. We weren't living our best life. We didn't see this country going in the right direction. And of course, the most guilty of all of them was Joe Biden. It was interesting to see Donald Trump signing the executive orders in the Oval Office last night when he was asked if any of the former presidents he would call for advice, and he said Clinton. I thought that was great. By the way, they've been friends a long time. He was at their daughter's wedding. So they've been pals. They were at his wedding. So he said, I just think he was a good politician. I think he can get stuff done. He'd be someone I'd call for advice. I don't disagree with him on that. I don't disagree with him at all. But to say and to have all of these freakouts, and including the freakouts, so not only the presidents of the United States, the freakouts are coming online on TikTok and all of those, from everybody crying and screaming and yelling and all of that. You brought us Donald Trump. You handed us Donald Trump. We saw your freakouts online and said, we got to do something with this country because this is not okay what's going on. And we saw them over the years, over the craziest things. Something I saw, one of the trending little bits that the cool kids on social media are doing right now. We're saying, I'm sorry, I got a little too political. My bad. I wanted XYZ. And the XYZ is you fill in the blank. And one was like a woman that said, I want to marry my girlfriend one day. Same-sex marriage is legal in the United States, across the board, all 50 states. What do you... That brought us Donald Trump. Those things brought us Donald Trump. All of them. You go do the search on that. I got too political. Do that, and you will see all of these videos. Every single one of them has nothing to do with the Donald Trump presidency, but it brought us a Donald Trump presidency. Because we see that. Gen X sees that and says, well, this country is going in the wrong direction. They have no idea what's going on. This guy says he's going to make changes in the Department of Education. Yep, we obviously need changes in the Department of Education. If kids are this dumb that think that you can't get married to a chick if you're a chick. Make mental institutions open again. Amen to that. Did they get rid of those? I'm going to say one of my exes spent a lot of time in one of those. But that's anyway. I digress. I want to talk about a couple things here. The tech titans that were behind Donald Trump in his ceremony, and I mean all the tech titans. These weren't just Republicans. And by the way, Bezos is not a Republican. Elon Musk has never been a Republican until now. The one billionaire that I saw, and I just saw a video, I can't think of his name, and I do apologize. The one billionaire that I saw that did change his party affiliation because of Democrat shenanigans was very open about his change when he saw Biden again at the end of his presidency continue the lie about good people on both sides. He's like, I can't do this anymore. He's like, the entire American people being lied to. I can't trust these people. But I see the CEO of Apple, the CEO of Alphabet, which is Google, YouTube, and whatever else they own. Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg. I see them all. Do you see Zuck, by the way? Zuck was checking out the hardware on Bezos's fiance. Whew. I mean, I don't blame Clinton. I don't blame Emhoff. I don't blame Zuck for just taking a look. There was some eye candy around the whole thing. We're men. We're big, dumb apes is what we are. But what a better idea, what a better way to celebrate the idea of American exceptionalism and capitalism. Yeah, these are titans. Millions of jobs they're responsible for. Millions. Millions of people have careers and benefits and pensions and retirement and vacations and sick pay because of them. That stage was full of American exceptionalism. Unapologetically. Oh, what? Oh, look at all those billionaires. This is the, what are they? Tech oligarchy is what they're talking about. No, this is a celebration of those that have created hundreds of thousands and millions of jobs and did it on their own, made their own money, made their own success. I'd celebrate that. That should be celebrated. But again, Mean Orange Man is at the microphone, so it's just an absolute embarrassment afterwards. What else do we got? Oh my gosh. I've got to get the drop. In the media world, we call it a drop. It would be like me doing that. Like, that's a drop. Okay. That's a drop. The drop needs to be everyone in the Oval Office when Donald Trump was signing his executive orders from the Oval Office. Every single person in that room. And if you were watching and you were not coming along with me on this, I don't know if we can be friends. But how many times did you say, either to yourself or out loud like I did, That's what she said. How many times? Every time he said, oh, what is this? Oh, that is securing the southern border. Oh, that's a big one. He said, oh, that's a big one about 8 times. Everybody screaming from the back. That's what she said. Because I'm a child. Reproductiverights.gov is down. The website reproductiverights.gov is down. The left has gone apoplectic about this, that Donald Trump, on his very first minute in office, took down reproductiverights.gov. He is evil. He's coming after our rights. Look at the freak out. You can look it up. Just search the keyword. You're going to see all the social media posts of the old millennials and Gen Zers losing their bleeping minds. You don't see a lot of Gen Xers doing it because we know what to do. Donald Trump did not. Donald Trump's administration did not. Donald Trump's staff did not. The Republican Party did not. Any Republican did not take down reproductiverights.gov the minute Donald Trump was sworn into office. That was taken down by the Biden administration over a week ago. Take a deep breath, America. It's gonna be okay. Do you remember we were told that? We were told that by the left, right? When Biden, it's okay. Just they said just take a deep breath, Republicans. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. They didn't know that prices of the groceries were going to double, price of gas would double, price of basically everything would double. I was talking this morning with Queen Bee about my addiction to Starbucks cold brew, and I found that the not from the Starbucks, if you go to the grocery store, you can get their Starbucks cold brew that's in the by the milk and the creamers and all that. Fry's or Kroger has a version that's even better. It's better and cheaper. Anyway, my Trenta cold brew, no ice. Ice waters it down. Trenta cold brew, no ice is what I order as many times as I can go there. It used to be $3.75. It's $6 now. So this, just wait. It's okay. It's okay, conservatives. Everything's going to be okay. They didn't factor in Afghanistan. They didn't factor in Russia, Ukraine. They didn't factor in oil dependence, draining of the strategic reserves, everything doubling in price. But I'm telling you now, what happened yesterday was basically an erasing of the programs and policies that have made everything more expensive. Yes. All right, before we move on here to the executive orders, what else do I have? Oh no, that's an EO. Put that in the EO category. Sorry, guys. I do have notes, believe it or not. All right, Khalifa cold brew, the best. Where do I get that at, Chris? I'm gonna look it up right now. What is it? Khalifa. It sounds like Antifa. I don't know about that. I don't know if I'm like this. I don't know about your communist coffee. Khalifa cold brew. Here we go. Let me see if I can recognize. I do recognize that. Okay, that's the best. And I can find it at Target and Fry's. Okay. All right, buddy. Okay. I'm going to give it a try. But I was excited actually because everything is so expensive. And these are $5.50, $5.50. The cool thing is that everything was expensive. And then I found something $1.50 cheaper with the store brand, with the Kroger brand. So I'll give the Khalifa a try, buddy. Thank you very much for the recommendation. I appreciate it. I know you mentioned it before. I just Khalifa just sounded like Antifa. The blonde is awesome. As long as it is unsweetened, I am all about it. All right, what do we got here, guys? All right. Let's see. Maybe possibly from office something a bit more professional, not constant slob reels on going back to Sandy Cortez. Yes. Jeez. Yeah. Something a little more professional, right? Buttoned up. Or maybe my favorite. Do you remember when everything during COVID and everybody was doing their, let's put the camera in front of me or put the cell phone in front of me, and that's when I'm going to do my hit on the news or whatever it is. And a lot of people had the books behind them because, of course, you need to have books behind them. And if you have books behind them, it means you're smart. You're smart. Then somebody figured it out that a lot of people had the same books, had the same bookshelf. And it was a book curtain that you could buy at Target. It was a shower curtain that they had pulled tight to look like it was, yeah. Oh, wait, do a U.S. corporation revenue march this making the 19th president? Oh, yeah. What is going on? What is happening? QAnon conspiracy, the obscure act of 16 or 1871 made the U.S. corporation that will reverse. Oh, boy. 19th president. Fine. As long as he's still president. I'll give him a number. Don't care. Just don't care. Did you say the actual, it was a sweet moment. I don't know if you saw this, but it was really cool. I couldn't find it this morning, but I saw it happen live when Peter Doocy of Fox News in the Oval Office while President Biden is signing at the Resolute desk. I mean, President Trump is signing at the Resolute desk. He asked him, did President Biden leave you a note? And he was like, I don't know. We just moved our stuff in here. Where would it be? Would it be in the drawer? And he opens his drawer and he pulls out an envelope that says 47 on it. He goes, he did. He goes, Dad, let's all read it together. He's like, no, maybe I should read that before I offer it to you guys. Because it is standard practice for the incoming president to receive a handwritten letter from the previous president in the Resolute desk. And that was just cool. That was a cool moment. He's like, thank you, Peter, for asking me. I would have never even looked in there because I don't even open this drawer. I thought that was pretty cool. It's also standard practice for the first children to leave a note for the incoming first children. Could you imagine that letter? From the Biden kids to the Trump kids. You would have to have the entire the actual paper and the envelope tested. I have a lot to say that I'm not going to say right now. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. And it has nothing to do with Hunter, by the way. Anywho, let's get to these executive orders. Let's start with, because I said anywho, let's get to who. Who? The World Health Organization. Who? The United States has now pulled out of the World Health Organization. That is by executive order. God bless you, Donald Trump, for pulling us away from the organization that is completely in bed with China and did more to end lives with COVID than anyone, more than Fauci. Oh, that's pretty funny. So the World Health Organization, I love the example that was used, is that there is, and you guys are doing laugh emojis. I'm going to have to see what you guys are saying here in a minute. World Health Organization, China. China has 1.4 billion people. Billion. We have 300 million. They have 1.4 billion. To the World Health Organization, which they are basically in charge of, because the World Health Organization, who does whatever China wants them to do, especially around COVID, and totally covered up the origins of COVID. They pay $39 million a year to the World Health Organization. Who? The United States, which is 20-ish% the size of China, pays $500 million to the World Health Organization. Who? Yep. $500 million. They're like, okay, when everybody else wants to jump in, we're going to go ahead. The next executive order was pulling away from the Paris Climate Accord. Again, here's the reason. Almost the same as pulling out of the World Health Organization. Who? Is because we pay for it all. China and India, the world's largest polluters, do not have to join or make one change until what? 2035. That's when they have to start acting right. So for the next decade, they can be the number one polluters of the earth, well, number 1 and 2 polluters of the earth, and don't have to join in while we're giving hundreds of millions of dollars to this Paris Accord, which does absolutely jack and or squat. Here's a fun fact. As Lurch has said, you know, the absolutely ridiculous John Kerry, as John Kerry has said, that if the entire EU and United States go to carbon neutral, go to zero tomorrow, it will not move the needle when it comes to temperature. Nothing will happen. It won't help. But on top of that, that's his own words. You can fact check me on that. But on top of that, ready for this one? The wildfires, and I doggone it, keep saying wildfires in Los Angeles. The fires in Los Angeles. If we were carbon neutral for the last 6 years as a nation, that just undid it. That is releasing more carbon into the air than 5 years of America's total carbon footprint. A lot of this is, we're going to see a lot of changes in these 4 years. We're going to see a lot of changes, and I think a lot of those are going to be with this green. One of the executive orders was to walk back the Green New Deal and the trillions of dollars being just laundered to companies that are Solyndra-esque and doing absolutely nothing. Oh, my goodness sakes. Let me see it work like yeah, we are, Rhonda. We do kind of work like we are unpaid labor, so to speak. Words I can't say. Unpaid labor on just for the rest of the world. Like we're here to fund a government that funds everything else. If you don't remember, and please again fact check me on this. If you don't remember, we are paying not only military equipment to Ukraine, which is then selling it on the black underground market. They're selling the stuff we're giving them. Some of the stuff we're giving them, which is going to end up in terrorist hands. Just don't worry. It's inevitable. So we're not only paying them in military equipment, we're also paying all of their first responders and their first responders' pensions, retirement, everything. We're paying the cops, ambulance, fire. We're paying them all. Their salaries. We're not just giving them a check. We're paying their salaries. Their paychecks come from us. Unbelievable. All this is going to end. Oh, it's going to be glorious. I love this. And by the way, and if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. It really is. While he's signing the executive orders and keeps saying, this is a big one. That's a big one. And you keep saying, that's what she said. Watch him just take questions. People are just firing questions at him. He's like, can I say again? Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. And just answers the question. He didn't care. They were just firing questions at him. He had no problem with it. He had no problem with answering everything. Like what? And it's so funny because the press is so dumb and so terrible. When they say things like who's the first world leader you're going to meet with? He's like, I've been meeting with world leaders. Have you not been paying attention? They've all been flying down to my house. I've been coming out, hanging out, having a nice Mar-a-Lago vacation, and we're getting some work done. I already have Mexico bending a knee. I got Canada bending a knee. What'd you guys want? You guys didn't elect Mr. Nice Guy. Mr. Nice Guy is on his way eating ice cream right now on his California vacation on my plane. Mr. Nice Guy's gone. We're not doing Mr. Nice Guy anymore. I'll dip back and forth. One of the pardons, by the way, he also pardoned, Joe Biden pardoned a man who is basically accused of serving life for killing 2 FBI agents. Pardoned. Yeah. And we can all get fired up about the Jan 6 stuff. So let's get into the Jan 6 pardon, shall we? Which was one of the issues, the hot button issue. So let's just jump on it. I don't know if you remember this kid. There was a kid that turned his dad into the FBI, and his dad was rung up. His dad was no more than basically a spectator and a trespasser in Jan 6, but he's in jail and getting released. Of course, leave it to CNN to grab him and tell him how scared he should be.
Reffitt. He turned his father, Guy Reffitt, into the FBI for participating in the insurrection. And Guy Reffitt is currently in prison, serving a 6.5-year sentence.
6.5 years for just, following a bunch of people into the Capitol. Yeah.
For rioting at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. So,
how many jail sentences were handed down for those that rioted in different cities and burned down post George Floyd? Anyone? Right. Those little riots. How about Rodney King riots? Anybody still in jail? The Rodney King riots? Yeah, no. Nothing like that, but the riots, 6 years, cheese and rice. All right, here we go.
Obviously convicted and serving his sentence. Jackson, I appreciate your time. So here we are, and Trump is announcing pardons for January 6 defendants. That this could include your father, who's serving a 6-year sentence.
100% does.
A 6.5-year sentence as we speak.
Released last night.
What's your reaction?
Yeah, I just want to first let everybody know that my band Shredhead, we're releasing our next album next week, but great to be here on CNN.
Honestly flabbergasted that we've gotten to this point. I mean, I'm terrified. I don't know what I'm going to do. I've taken as many precautions as I could recently.
Buddy.
I've
Daddy's coming home.
Picked up a gun. I've moved, and I've
Yeah, because your dad's going to come kill you. Your dad was just released from prison, and he's going to come kill you. Shut it. What a doof.
gotten myself away from what I thought would be a dangerous situation and staying where I thought my dad could find me.
Well, how'd they find you? How'd CNN find you? If CNN can find you, and trust me, dude, you're a little attention hoe. Trust me, everyone will be able to find you soon enough. And again, my band Shredhead's album just releasing it.
Or other people, people that are going to feel so validated by these actions, by this pardon, is I'm just so filled with paranoia about what could happen. I've been
smoke another one and go to bed, bro. It'll be fine in the morning. Just relax.
Waiting all day from a call from the DOJ to just figure it out and know what to do.
What, you want us to put you in witness protection? Dude, kick rocks. I absolutely love that. You should have had the Bidens do that, because there's no way Trumpy's going to do that. No way now.
Do next, because right now I don't, other than just to, sit around and, talk about it.
I mean, you're scared. I mean, you're right. I mean, you're scared
Aaron,
about what could happen from your
better.
father.
Good Lord, Aaron. Be better. Have some questions ready for the kid. Don't just tell him he's scared. God, these people are hacks.
Specifically, or someone else.
Yeah. I don't know what other people are thinking. I don't even know what my father's thinking. I mean, I've talked to my father before, but I had thought it gotten better.
Okay.
And it really hadn't. My dad is still involved with these militias. He still talks with, a martyr status. He has no change. He's more galvanized than ever that I've seen.
You know what'll do that to you? Getting rung up on crap charges for 6.5 years and being sent away to prison. Gee, I wonder why our recidivism rate is so huge here in the United States. I wonder why. Because we send people to prison for garbage. And, I give President Biden a tip of the hat. 1,500 sentences commuted for nonviolent drug crimes. Awesome. But those people are coming out galvanized. Those people are coming out in not a good way. In not a good way. We send people to jail for the dumbest crap. And this guy got sent to jail for 6.5 years. And this slap, he's just surprised it's going down like this.
My mom, too. My sisters are waiting outside the jail cell right now.
Good. They should be, because their dad's getting released from prison.
And, I feel for them. And I know who they are, and I love them. But I can't feel safe. And I'm sure hundreds of other families, thousands of other people that have been affected by these people and their actions, and what could happen when they're released. I mean, who knows? I mean, my dad once called me a traitor, and
traitor your family,
he said
bro.
traitors get shot. So
snitches end up in ditches, bro.
That's all I can think about recently, and just
I'm sorry, Jackson. You mentioned your sisters, and I know you're one of three, and your sisters are there, and you mentioned your mom too, and your mom and your sisters are fully on board with your father. Can you talk about it? Really sounds like January 6th broke your family apart.
No, you
broke.
Is
there any way that this? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Go
ahead. Seriously, I mean,
give me the tears.
My father's actions coming from the Trump presidency, and what he thought what he was doing was right, just destroyed it.
Look so happy as a kid.
I made a very, very disgusting decision to inform authorities about what he was doing, and I still feel horrible about it every day.
Should.
And my sisters are out there right now, and they're rooting for him, and
should be.
I understand that. I come with a point of love towards that. Like I want to be there for them, but I can't. It just isn't safe for people like me that have done the same things I have done to do what I thought to do to protect my family, and it's hard.
But you still love your father.
Of course, I love him. I love him. I just cannot feel safe around him. Cannot feel safe around people he knows. I cannot feel safe around the people my mother knows. My mom has, used my name to sit in front of a crowded room of these far right Trump supporters, and whenever she brings up my name and what I've done, the crowd will just roar in just anger about like what the hell did that kid do? And I watching, being away.
Okay, I can't even watch you, bro. Wow, thanks, Jim. Appreciate you. Yeah, we got to definitely keep that right there. I just have so much stuff going on right now. If you're a Star Wars nerd, this is my my sticker that's on my backup drive. Yeah, if you're a Star Wars fan. Exactly. All right. Anyway, yeah. So obviously that guy, Trump derangement syndrome, landed his dad in prison, and now, trust me, there's going to be a family meeting when this is all said and done. And no, he's not going to get shot, for the love of grief. All right, let's stay on this. The Jan 6th. Let's go with those that are cashing in on victimhood. And do you remember this guy? This guy was just given a Congressional Medal of Freedom, by the way. Yeah. Here we go. This is Anderson Cooper just egging it on too. This is embarrassment.
Thanks, America. This feels like a betrayal to you.
Thanks, America.
Oh, I have been betrayed by my country.
No, you haven't.
Rest assured, I have been betrayed by my country.
No,
and I've been.
No, Mikey, listen to me, Mikey. Mikey, I want you to hear me. I want you to hear me out. You have not been betrayed by your country. You've been made wealthy by your country. You've been made rich by your country. You have been paid handsomely. You have written a book that became a bestseller magically that no one read, and you're fine. You're good, dude. You're absolutely good. I hate this. I can't stand this clown.
Been betrayed by those that supported Donald Trump, whether you voted for him because he promised these pardons or for some other reason.
Yeah, for some other reason. Yeah, most likely. I did not vote for Donald Trump because he was going to pardon Jan 6ers. This guy is so full of himself. Former DC police officer, kick rocks.
We knew that this was coming, and here we are.
Okay. Again, I want you to hear everything I've been talking over.
Thanks, America.
This feels like a betrayal to you.
Oh, I have been betrayed by my country. Rest assured, I have been betrayed by my country, and I've been betrayed by those that supported Donald Trump, whether you voted for him because he promised these pardons or for some other reason. You knew that this was coming, and here we are.
I want to address my friends and not friends that are on the front line as police officers and first responders in this country, because I have friends in the biz, sheriffs, troopers, police officers. What they experience in some cases, let's go back to the Rodney King riots. There's nobody feeling sorry for those cops that got their butts kicked, got Molotov cocktails thrown into their cars. Nobody's feeling sorry for them. Because nobody was arrested for doing that. Rodney King riots. I'm sorry, the George Floyd riots. Same. But I mean, you had the vice president, the soon-to-be vice president of the United States, Kamala Harris, starting the Minnesota Freedom Fund. Remember that? So these violent criminals can be set free without basically have their bail paid for. I have known cops that have gone through worse than this guy went through. I'm sorry. And I do not agree with President Trump's blanket pardon of all of them. I do not. If you punched a cop, we're going to look into that, and we're not setting you free day one. If you hit a cop with something, we are not going to set you free day one. I'm sorry. We're going to look at your case. We're going to figure out what it is. If you're on a 20-year sentence, it'll probably be kicked down to like 2. Because cops get assaulted all the time. Those people don't spend years in jail. But for this guy to play that victim as he's cashing in, to play the victim on this, and he might have some post-traumatic stress. I do understand that. Fine, I get it. But what about the first responders I just keep naming these events, and Jan 6 is probably on the bottom of that list of things that first responders have to respond to and deal with, and the stresses they're in versus what this guy went through for 3 or 4 hours of a day. I can't even, the man's disgusting, and CNN's disgusting for propping him up when this is going on. Speaking, Colin, I'll definitely get to that in a moment as well. Speaking of disgusting, here's Cory Booker and iRobot, Caitlin Collins.
I want to get you to respond to this because what I'm already hearing from people.
I want to respond to this, what I am already hearing. Sometimes she glitches.
People who work for Trump and are his allies is that there's really no leg for the Democrats don't have a leg to stand on because President Biden leaving today, issued a raft of pardons, including for his own family members and his sister and his brothers and their spouses, and then also for an activist, an elderly activist who is convicted of killing 2 FBI agents. Chris Wray did not even want him to commute that sentence. The
FBI director said, no, this dude needs to stay behind bars. I'll have to sign it. My staff said I have to. And they did.
President Biden did today. They say that doesn't give Democrats an argument here to criticize these pardons. What is your response to that?
I mean, I think that's the mistake we're seeing now is people trying to reduce this to tribalism. No. This is not about Democrat or Republican.
Oh, now it's not about Democrat or Republican. This is rich. It's now, according to Cory Booker, is a fraud and a sham as it is. He's a loser. According to him, now everything is tribalism prior to, but now that the Republicans in charge, we can't resort to tribalism.
Joe Biden pardoned a lot of people. Yeah, he should answer for that and explain what he did and his reasoning.
He doesn't have reasoning. It wasn't him pardoning them. And the fact that it went back to 2014, you might want to line that up with something going on in Ukraine about the same time, is absolutely absurd and an admission of guilt, period.
But the people he pardoned, his family members, did not before the naked public eye.
Before the naked public eye. See this? Do you see that? Said the quiet part out loud. Before the naked public eye. I mean, y'all didn't see this. I mean, as far as the public's concerned, they didn't do anything wrong. Oh, hell, they didn't. They did a lot of wrong. And they cashed in on selling access to the White House to foreign adversaries. That's unbelievable.
Beat police officers.
Again, those who beat police officers need to be punished.
Try to overthrow our government, lead to the death of police officers, and have injuries, scars, both visible and invisible, on police officers that are still affecting their lives today.
Now, don't call this death. Oh, it led to their death. Shut up. It did not lead to their death. You know what? Do you know what death it did lead to? One of the convicted Jan 6 rioters who committed suicide the day after he was found guilty, because his whole life was ruined for just showing up that day.
This is not about left or right in our country. We can't just say this is a tit for tat or their side did it so my side can do it. No.
All right. Well, I'm sorry. I just caught this. That's saying, all right, Lynn, get after the doctors, buddy. Let them get you better. Pay attention to what your doctor says. Do what your doctor says. If my mom was talking to you right now, she's like, you better have worn some clean chonies. My mom doesn't talk like that, by the way. Yes, let's see here. Yes, no issues with rioters in 2020. Spitting on cops, kicking cops is right. Absolutely not. Throwing water on cops. I remember that in New York. Yeah. They were not locked up, but the rioters outside the Supreme Court. Nope. Yeah. It's an absolute joke. Truman is right. It's not tribalism. It's stupidity. And I do think that blanket order for 1,500 Jan 6ers was stupidity. He said there's only 6 that they're looking into. All 1,500 should have been looked into, period. I think that would be the prudent thing to do, because none of us say that. I don't think, at least, that Jan 6 was the right thing to do. So we all agree that those that busted up some stuff and busted up some cops need to be punished. Those that are just rolling around with flags through the rotunda do not need to get rung up, but they're in prison right now. So those immediately gone. Those that are convicted, guilty conviction of punching a cop or pushing their way through something or breaking a window, whatever it is. Now we say, okay, let's look at the sentences and how they stack up with everything else, and then adjust them accordingly. I think that would have been the prudent thing to do. I think that would have made Donald Trump actually look like the businessman that he is, right? The civil suits are going to be fantastic, Greg. I mentioned that yesterday. The civil suits, because the Jan 6 committee has been given a blanket pardon. The blanket pardon is for federal crimes. That's it. The president cannot pardon someone on a state crime. It is a federal crime. They cannot pardon people for civil crimes. So the civil lawsuits that are coming against Kinzinger, that are coming against Cheney, that are coming against what's the other guy's name? Raskin, Adam Schiff, are going to be glorious. They're going to be fantastic. And it's going to break a lot of people. The DNC will be kicking in to help pay those people off. And it'll hamstring them in the next election cycle for sure. Goldman v. OJ. Oh yeah, you're damn right. Dude, the Goldmans just took OJ to town. Yep. Funny story. And we got time? Holy cow, guys, we're almost out of time. We've been having too much fun. Funny story. My old radio show partner, Michael P. Whiny Weinstein, and I were at a golf tournament, and it was just the two of us, so we're paired up with two other people. And Greg, you're gonna like this. We're paired up with two other people, and this guy was toes to the nose USC gear. By the way, thank God, Ohio State kicked Notre Dame's butt last night. Oh, I'm sorry if you're a Notre Dame alum, but the Notre Dame alum I know are some of the most insufferable human beings on the planet. Anyway, this guy was toes to the nose USC, which is about the same as Notre Dame. USC, toes and nose. His bag was leather USC, his club covers USC, everything, balls, tees, everything USC. So I make the joke. No, I that kind of a jerk, I guess, on the first tee. I put my hand on his golf bag and I go, "You guys still claiming OJ?" I'm not kidding. I'm not going to do the accent, but he was out of Central Casting, New York Jewish attorney. He said, "As a matter of fact, I'm OJ's asset protection attorney. My job is to make sure the Goldmans and the Browns get nothing of OJ's." I, several times in my life, have had a very sinking feeling. This was one of the worst. Like, I was looking at just raw scum. Yeah. Interesting, right? Violence does deserve consequences, Truman. You're right. Even a provoked state. Yeah, right. 100%. Misdemeanor trespass should have been it. Really should have been it. Should have been it. And yes, I should do a longer show. But okay, so let's actually stay on this. And the Jan 6ers that were released last night, you guys might see this video going around. Lay off this guy. Dude, just lay off this guy. Please lay off this guy.
Literally all I got. But no more are going to be released tonight, okay? And tomorrow is a brand new day. We'll see what tomorrow brings, okay? I'll probably be here with you. Okay.
This poor bastard is doing nothing but following what he said. You go tell these people that are waiting for their inmates to be released that we're not releasing anymore. It's midnight. We're not going to release anymore until tomorrow. You just need to let them know that. This guy had to go out and let them know that. This guy did not make the decision to keep people back. He did not. And there are people on the internet that have the faces. He looks at the camera. They're like, identify this guy and make him famous. I mean, guy's doing nothing but doing his job, damn it.
Violation. Don't release them after release.
The law, right?
Come in.
No, I was told no more tonight.
No more tonight.
No more tonight.
And I had to tell you guys.
We trust you.
And tomorrow, I don't know.
Okay.
And that's the best I got for you.
Can you tell us the condition of the prisoners?
Yeah, because they need to go gather them from the gulags.
Nope. I'm sure they're fine.
We just worry that you release them after we left.
No. The commander has assured me no more being released tonight.
Oh, good.
Okay.
We worry about their cold.
I understand.
Yeah, the family's like, look, we're just worried about the cold. We just wanted to be here, but if they're not going to be here, cool, they'll be here tomorrow. We'll be here tomorrow. We just didn't want to be here if they weren't going to be here. And we don't. If they were let out, we wanted to be here. Yeah, I'm sure, Colin, I know that was called the DC Gulag. Absolutely, it was. It was absolutely atrocious what they were put through. There's two things, actually three things that I have to cover, and we do not have the tempo for that. We will cover them tomorrow. See, Greg, come on. Biden caused Trump. We do know that. Actually, the three presidents prior to Biden caused him as well. Justin Trudeau caused Alberta 51, 100%. All right, so let's get to we got three things to cover. Let's just do this. I'm going to cover the border tomorrow, the executive orders on the border, and the fallout. The response from the media has been absolutely fantastic. But did you see Elon Musk in his spectrumness It went like this, and it looked like a Heil Hitler salute. It wasn't, but it did not stop the Democrats from going to the Senate confirmation hearings today and bringing that up to Miss Stefanik.
What do you think of?
Now, by the way, I'm not a Stefanik fan. I'm really not, and I'm sorry. I know she is a willing and able soldier. She's fantastic for the cause of MAGA, but I just got a bootlicker vibe from her, and I'm just not a fan. Just not. But anyway,
Elon Musk, perhaps the president's most visible advisor, doing 2 Heil Hitler salutes last night at the president's televised rally.
No.
Look at what an idiot, an absolute moron.
Elon Musk did not do those salutes. I was not at the rally, but I can tell you I've been at many rallies with Elon Musk, who loves to cheer when President Trump says we need to send our U.S. space program to Mars. Elon Musk is a visionary. I'm looking forward to his work in DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, and look forward to looking how we can be more efficient and effective, but that is simply not the case.
Love that, by the way. Yeah. He said you wish you could give the crowd his heart. Yeah, heck yeah. All right. So anyway, now, okay, Elise gives a fantastic, the Honorable Elise Stefanik gives her, she's just going to be the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. It's a solid job, but I mean, okay, just send her off. Listen to the response.
And to say so
to a perfect response.
The American people are smart. They see through it. They support Elon Musk. We are proud to be the country of such successful entrepreneurs. That is one of our greatest strengths as Americans.
Let me share with you what a few Americans have said.
What a few Americans have said on social media. This is how out of touch. And again, I'm going to say it over and over again. Again, why they lost, why they got their butts handed to them in this election is because of this crap. Oh, let me tell you what a few Americans are saying on Twitter. Please, bro. No one cares. There's 350 million of us. We don't care what 4 people say on Twitter.
About it. Evan Kilgore, a right-wing political commentator, wrote on X, "Holy crap, did Elon Musk just Heil Hitler at the Trump inauguration rally? This is incredible. Wow. We are so back." Andrew Torba, who's the founder of the right-wing Christian nationalist social platform Gabs, incredible things are happening as he amplified the visual. The Proud Boys chapter in Ohio posted the clip on its Telegram channel with the text "Heil Trump." A chapter of the white nationalist group White Lives Matter posted it on Telegram.
Okay.
Thanks for.
Oh, you're gonna tell me the Ku Klux Klan did it as well? Who cares?
Hearing us, Elon. The white.
Keep talking about this, guys. You'll never win an election again.
I could keep going.
Ever.
Over and over last night, white supremacist groups and neo-Nazi groups in this country rallied around that visual. Does it concern you?
No.
That those elements.
At least stay with us.
Of the neo-Nazi and white supremacist.
No, because you should give them no credence.
The United States believe that what they saw last night was a neo-Nazi salute.
What concerns me is these are the questions you believe are most important to ask to the UN ambassador. I have a very strong record when it comes to combating anti-Semitism. We just had a historic election where President Trump earned historic support from American voters because of his strong leadership combating anti-Semitism, which has been a scourge across the country, skyrocketing since October 7th. So I intend to bring moral clarity to this position and continue to speak out as a voice, as a beacon of light, condemning anti-Semitism at the United Nations, which is representative of President Trump's record and President Trump's promises that he made on the campaign trail.
You are right. These are the questions I choose to ask because I think that your work and the administration's work on anti-Semitism only comes with real impact and credibility if it holds both right and left accountable.
That's not, you don't hold Elon Musk accountable for waving his arm around.
Squad made that same gesture last night, that there wouldn't be commentary from you and others.
Oh, here we go with what-ifism. It's absolute garbage. What a loser. And again, they're all going to be losers. They're going to be losers again and again and again in their elections. The Democrat Party is going to keep losing if they keep on this garbage. There is an iconic picture of the great Muhammad Ali. and he's just like this. And I don't know who was laying on the ground, who he just knocked to the ground, but his is just like this, right? His arms up here like this. If you watch the video, it's him going like this, as fast as can be. The camera caught him right here, and it looks like he's holding it, but it's just boop. You can do that with anything. I've seen now you go online, you can see it 100 different pictures of Hillary doing this, Obama doing this, everybody doing that, and just stop it. Ay, ay, ay. Go after the autistic guy. Jeez, I know. He's a special kind of nerd. He really is a special kind of nerd. All right, guys, Instagram's kicking us out of here, so we're going to get kicked out too. We've gone over our hour allotment. So you guys have a wonderful day. We're going to talk about the border fallout tomorrow and the funny reactions. And how about the suggestion of let's really embrace these tariffs and get rid of income tax? Talk about that tomorrow right here on In Other News. Have a great